Hello, Savannah. Hello, 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 Savannah. And welcome to another edition of Kandily Kesha. We are so excited to be joined by the director of our local farmers market, Dr. Deidre Carr Grimm, and none other than the foremost authority on all things history, Gullah Geechee, African American culture here in Savannah, coastal Georgia, southeast United States of America, Dr. Jamal Toure. So we're going to jump right into it, and we're not going to keep you all tonight, but definitely grateful for you popping in. Dr. Grimm, tell us about our farmers market, our food pharmacy. Start off with telling us a little bit about the mission, some of the amazing changes that you have made and successes you have had. You all have landed some major grants, some new dollars to our locality. You have expanded programming. You are coming off of an amazing and successful luncheon that was hosted by you and your esteemed staff. So let's talk everything farmers market, and Dr. Ray, I'm sure she'll give you an opportunity to talk about the new opportunities that we have coming to us with regard to the Gullah Geechee corridors.
Most definitely. Thank you, Alderwoman, for having me here this evening. Um, I think when I took on this role at the farmers market, I knew that our food system was strong, but it could be improved upon. Part of the mission at the farmers market is to ensure that our local farmers are financially sustained as well as food access. And so that comes up in food justice. And for those who may not know what food justice is, it is about being able to actualize your own food system, your ability to create a food system or be involved in a food system that really caters to you. And in essence, that food is a right, not an option. Here in Savannah, we have many food apartheid areas, specifically in the West Side corridors of Savannah. And it has always been, matter of fact, it was one of my very first questions of Alderwoman Lanier when I moved here and met her. I said, why doesn't the West Side have a grocery store? That was very disheartening to me, coming off
And
of
what year was that?
2016, 2017.
Wow.
And still no store, right? But um, it was by design. They wanted to put places like IGA. No, it wasn't IGA. It was something else. What was the other grocery store that we don't even like in West Ashley?
Um, I know what you're talking about.
It used to be in one on MLK.
Like
Food
Save a
line.
Lot.
Save a Lot. That's it. Save a Lot. They wanted to put a Save a Lot there, and the community had bad experiences with Save a Lot, like flies on meat, produce that had gone bad. And then you have the food line that comes up on MLK that doesn't accept SNAP benefits in a majority low wealth community. So, that failed. But that was also created by design, right? Because they felt, or whomever decided to do the market study, believed that they could see the gentrification of forced displacement coming. So not everybody was going to have to need SNAP coming to their store. But lo and behold, we are a resilient people, and I know Dr. Toure will talk about that. We refuse to be moved. We figure it out, whether we have to beg, borrow, or call, have talked to Peter to pay Paul to stay in our homes. We're going to continue to do that. And so Alderwoman Lanier, she of course has an idea of what it should look like, the food landscape should look like in West Savannah. But we help out specifically around the farm truck, improving access. So it works twofold. We pay our farmers better than average rates for their produce, and we sell it at a minimal up cost, about 1% to 2%, depending on what the product is, and go to the community and where we accept SNAP benefits, but we also double them. And so today I'm here specifically to talk about the food pharmacy program. Um, and I'll share my screen real quick. This is what happens. You have to love technology. Is it not coming up? No, it's not coming up. Um, but anyway, I'll share my screen. It is about the food pharmacy program. The pharmacy program is
You may
food
need to
and
put it back again, Dr. Brown.
put it back again. There it is. Thank you. The food pharmacy program is a food is medicine program that they started out of Johns Hopkins, where they were getting a lot of people coming to the ER room because they were nutrition insecure. And as a result, they wanted to look at the prevention methods as opposed to be reactionary. And so since then, the USDA Farm Bill supports this through the GusNIP grant. This is our second cohort of food pharmacy participants. So we've had a cohort of 3 years that concluded that was earlier, October of this year. And the new cohort begins in January 2024. And what I want your viewership to understand that this is totally free to them. We give the benefits where any household can get up to $150 in fresh produce free monthly. So if you are a house that's nutrition insecure or fall under the category of receiving social benefits, this can help your benefits stretch further. We partner with local clinics, not Curtis v. Cooper. We're working with Curtis v. Cooper to implement the strategy, but we're also working with, what is it called? I am throwing the local DPH. We have a clinic at Memorial Children's Hospital. We also have a location at all of the St. Joseph Candler clinics, the African American Information Resource Center, Good Sam's, as well as St. Mary's. And so they can sign up now until February to go into our program. Like I said, it's no cost to them. We ask minimal questions. And so we have been really trudging and moving the needle forward and reaching our Hispanic neighbors as well. So those who may be concerned about, reporting, we do not sell or give out your information. And that's for anyone. We are very private on that. And we want to make sure that people just are able to thrive, not just survive, because I'm not a fan of canned food, but if that's all you have, then I understand. But I'd rather be able to give our community the best, which is possible, which is local, seasonal, and fresh, nutrient-dense produce. So that's a little bit about the program. I can speak to all of the great things that we do, but I just really want people to take advantage of it, because if not, then we lose the funding, and I don't want to lose funding. I want to make sure that our community eats.
Right. So I'm hoping that our producer will share this information in our chat area, and I will certainly add this to my personal social media platforms. If you could send me a link as well. For those who do not know much about the farmers market, let's talk about scheduling for the farmers market. What are the days, the hours, and also speak to those who may be interested in being vendors. How does that whole process work?
Sure. So that's interesting that you said that. We came back from New Orleans, and there was a Savanian in the airport with us earlier this week. No, that's last week. My days are running together. But nonetheless, he said, "Oh yeah, it's the first Saturday. It's the farmers market." And I said, "Yeah." I was like, "We're out there every Saturday now." And so he said, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yes, we are."
That was surprising to me, because I had been thinking up until about 2 months ago that it was still just once a month. So when did that change occur, and what was some of the successes, or I guess the desire and the drive to have more of the farmers market? What did that whole thing look like?
Sure, that was that predates me. So since I've been here, I know that the farmers market operated typically at least 50 weeks a year due to the holidays falling on certain Saturdays. Um, we're closed, but it's been going on since I've been around. But I think that that's one of the biggest things that I've been working towards is our storytelling and communications, because a lot of people don't know that we are a 7-day-a-week organization. We just don't host a Saturday market. We have programs that go out in the community far and wide and reach every demographic and age range daily. And so that's what we pride ourselves on. I will say that since being here at the farmers market, we initially had around 10 stops. Now we're up to 28 stops. And so we try to get to every community that wants us to come around. And we have a form on our website. So if you know of a farm truck stop that should come to a neighborhood near you, please go and fill out the form. It's at forsythfarmersmarket.com. And I think it's under the farm trucks tab, but nonetheless, I'll make sure I get that information as well. We also host nutrition education programs. We start with, we call it the Tiny Tots Trailblazers. Say that fast 3 times. And we work with, with children ages 0 to 5. There's this new study, Alderwoman Gibson Carter. Remember when we first had kids, and Dr. Toure, you probably appreciate this. You weren't supposed to feed your child anything different for like a week or 2 weeks or something, just to make sure that they didn't have an allergic reaction to it. Mm-hmm. Well, now this is also new to me, even after Janelle. This is more of a LJ situation. For you all that don't know, I have one who's almost 2 years old. So I have everywhere from 20 to 2 in my house right now. And so now they want a child to taste at least 100 things by the age of 1.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah. So how do you do that? You can't do the 1 week thing, because this would be at least 2 things a week. And, they can't eat solid foods until they're around 6 months. So we work with young children to learn or have a diverse palate at a young age. There are certain things that if I had been exposed to at a young age that I'm quite sure I would eat, i.e. beets. I will drink them, but I will not eat them. So, but I look at LJ and he eats beets. And I'm like, oh, well, your grandmother would be proud. So I'm happy for you. But, it's just taking that whole education component to households. We also have baby food making classes where we teach families how easy it is to make baby food. And we do these on a cost-efficient budget because we understand that inflation is real. And the majority of us are struggling from it, including myself. And so we want to take some of those barriers away as much as possible. And one thing I've learned also in just cost comparisons in shopping the market as opposed to our local grocery stores. Majority of the time I can get stuff cheaper at our market than in the grocery store. And I know where my food comes from, so I don't have any extra pesticides, any hormones, any of any of those chemicals that could cause, unfortunately, illnesses. And I make a relationship with my farmer and my vendor, and so that way that what you're getting is best quality. And that's one of the things that I have been really hitting home hard, because I think it's a lot of things about information. That's one of the social determinants of health that plague, unfortunately, our community, because we're not speaking about exactly what's going on. So I thank you for having me to share some knowledge that we are here as a resource, and change that whole notion that farmers markets are bougie. I want everybody to see what I have on. I have on a sweatshirt and sweatpants, and that's how I go to work, because I want to normalize that you do not have to dress up or put on airs or have $1 million in the bank to come to the farmers market. The farmers market is a space for you, just as well as I will, if you feel that you're not welcome, I will create a space for you. But to speak about the vendors. So unfortunately, we just closed our application process. We normally open it up in October of every year. And we give priority to, of course, our farmers. But also we have a program called Community Cultivations. So if you are a marginalized business or minority women business enterprise, we have a program that will help you understand how to be in the market space as well as acclimate. And so we do give priority and preference to those who have gone through our programs when vendor applications do open. But we do accept farmer vendors all year round. We have a 60-40 ratio, which may escape people because it escaped me. But that means that 60% of our vendors must be whole food vendors, meaning farmers or cattle ranchers, stuff of that nature. And then 40 is other food entrepreneurs or value-added products. And we are an exclusively food farmers market. We do not allow, beautiful artisans. And don't get me wrong, I love a wonderful piece of art and jewelry. But we believe that our food system needs to be strengthened before we can move forward on those other ventures, because if our people can't eat, they can't live. So that's my heart.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all of that information. And again, if you can put in the chat the website and how people can contact you, your staff, and get more information about our farmers market, that would be great. Now, segueing to Dr. Toure, and something that you all have in common is this new Gullah Geechee
just the other night
project that you've been working on. Let's talk about that, and then you throw it to Dr. Toure.
Sure, and I will share my screen again. So one thing that I'm big about is culture, and I'm very proud of my culture. My mom wouldn't have had it any other way. And so as a result, we have a program, well, it's a fundraiser. It's called Farms Giving. These were started prior to me coming. And so this year I decided, okay, well, what better way to do this than we do a Gullah Geechee inspired Farms Giving. And so to that point, we will be selling tickets beginning on Wednesday to our Gullah Geechee Farms Giving event. And hold on now, let's see. Please forgive me, audience. I love technology. It works when it wants to work. But nonetheless, we'll be hosting Gullah Geechee Farms Giving on January 7th. The location has changed. We will be at Lake Villa Marie on Isle of Hope. And it's a brunch theme. So we'll be there from like 11:30 to maybe noon. Tickets will be around $50 for adults and $25 for children. Anyone under the age of 6 is free. But it is a fundraiser to give back to our farmers and our community to make sure that they have access to healthy foods. And so to that point, we want to put the spin on it because where are we? We are right here in the Gullah Geechee corridor. As a person that grew up across the water, I am grateful for the wonderful grits and eggs that I had every morning that came directly either down the street or from around the corner. And I want us to be able to get back to understanding what locally and seasonally eating looks like. And so we're crafting a menu, but it will have, since we're coming off of Kwanzaa and New Year's, just know we will have something that is themed around making sure that you got your, I don't know, they say black eyed peas, but I grew up with field peas and rice and collard greens. So I'm just excited to share that with the community as well.
Well, Dr. Toure, in your role in all of this? I know you got your hands in it somewhere, sir.
I ain't got my hands in it. I don't know nothing about it.
Listen, I haven't called him yet, but he already knows I'm gonna put him on program, so he already knows what it is.
I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. And
Yes.
so I'm gonna throw this on out there. Last week in Charleston, well, we made it clear, and we had the folks with us from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and we had the deputy director. And so I put out there, I said that we are a nation, it's Gullah Geechee Nation. And with him being Nez Pierce, he said, he identified with that. He was like, to hear y'all are a nation. The corridor was something that's created by governments. The people create a nation. So that's why I just want to throw it out there, because sometimes Georgia people, get it twisted because y'all get caught buying into the madness of other people and their propaganda and the self-hatred and all other stuff like that, and the jealousy of people in South Carolina. Because somebody taught you to hate yourself and be jealous of your own people. So that's why in the Gullah Geechee Nation, so the corridor, that's created by the federal government, and it's a federal government entity. And so, but it's all good for us to do what we're doing right now. What you're saying, say to give back and looking out for us, because that's important for our families. Because sometimes, again, we get so caught up being selfish and not understanding we got to be selfless, because that's how people have been. And that's what it's been about, even though it's been those few people who've been selfish. But still, the reason why we survive is based on our nature, being able to give, look out for one another, support one another. And so, it is fitting for us to be out there, so we're going to be out there in Isle of Hope, Greenball Point, which I'm just going to put it out there. You got massive intimidation happening over on that side, massive intimidation, where you got African-American sister over there who family still got land over there, but the people encroaching upon them. And then trying to force them out and all that. So, so we got to be showcasing, let folks know we right here, we standing here, we these sacred trees. So, yes, absolutely. But I ain't know nothing about it. So, I'll
It sounds just like you didn't know anything about it, but we digress. And it's that I had both of you on. It just worked out this way. When we talk about the farmers market, we think about harvest and first fruits, and that basically denotes all things Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa, a part of the meaning of Kwanzaa is first fruits, and so we recognize that it's a cultural holiday for African Americans to celebrate their tradition and recognize the community. And there has never been a time like before now where we need to build on each other's strengths and to help our young people recognize who they are, whose they are, and whose shoulders they stand on. And I firmly believe that a lot of the violence that we see in our community, particularly when it comes to situational violence and violence within the culture, is birthed a lot out of the fact that our young people really and truly do not know much about the struggle, do not know much about the strength that they have in the roots in their families. And so we cannot have a cultural revolution unless we are rivaling this violent revolution that we have going on. In the last 30 days, we've had a homicide or a shooting every day, almost. And it's almost as if it's not happening. Violence has become so normalized in our community. And the fact that it primarily affects one demographic says why not much is being done about it. And so while we are waiting for government to take care of us and to aid in us coming up out of this, it behooves us to do as much as we can from our small pockets of our world to counter this. And I firmly believe that the young children and the people who come out to Kwanzaa each night, something is happening when they hear and see the singing, the dancing, the libations, the storytelling, when they see Dr. Toure go forth and transform, almost like it's spellbound, and start to spew the strength of our culture. I know one of them, they're getting something, and somebody's going to say that they learned this at Kwanzaa, or they received this awakening for Kwanzaa. I have to believe that. I have to believe that, because we have to have something to hold on in these very turbulent and troubling times. And so I am excited. I'm excited, and I'm hoping that as we're talking here tonight, my engines are running. I'm always thinking about collaboration, networking, and partnership, and most importantly, net weaving, right? How can we net weave Kwanzaa this year and supporting the farmers market? What is it that we can do together? So that'll probably give birth at some juncture. But Kwanzaa 2023-24, we started the Kwanzaa Krawl in 2020 because we saw, coming out of COVID or amidst COVID, so many African American businesses were struggling. As the CARES Act funds disseminated, we recognized that only two African American businesses, one African American business and one Jamaican business, received resources from those funds out of the 50 plus businesses that receive funds. And 98% of those funds were donated in our downtown, midtown corridors, which in itself says something was wrong with that institution. And so, as opposed to talking about it, we started to create the change that we wanted to see. And that's to utilize a pre-existing holiday, a pre-existing opportunity where there's already this celebration of culture in the air, to springboard to supporting African American businesses. Because we saw that between Broughton Street and River Street, there is only one African owner, and to date, we see that of over 600 alcohol and liquor serving establishments, we still have barely 10 that are held by African American business owners, and that permit generally and essentially increases the bottom line of revenue for a business by 40 to 50%. And so we see that economic disadvantage continuing to happen. So we saw the Kwanzaa Krawl as a way to showcase our African American businesses, but also to come together. And we created a beautiful program that includes, as I stated, the libations, the singing, the dancing, and the recognition of some of our cultural nuggets. And so with that, Dr. Toure, you want to share the rollout this year? We're so excited. We have switched a few restaurants around, and we've added a couple of new ones that are new to the city of Savannah. And so each night is we highlight the principle of Kwanzaa, and we have a speaker and a presenter and all kinds of stuff we come up with. So let's talk about the rollout this year, Dr. Toure. Everybody's wanting to know where we're going to start. What time are we going to start?
Okay, yes, ma'am. I got to do this right here for our Black media. We say support our advertisers, because unlike the other show, like my show, they make sure I got to announce an advertiser. But at Kandily Kesha, she got special privileges. She that blue and white, they got privileges. She ain't got to say nothing. But again, Davis Johnson Bozeman Law Firm, offices in Savannah, Statesboro, and Atlanta. One Price Cleaners in Garden City, at the Farmers Market in Garden City, Kim's Cafe, 714 MLK Junior Boulevard, and Shepherd Brothers Gas and a Food Mart right there, Styles and Gwinnett. So yes, and so we're excited because it's about Black businesses, and that's what Kwanzaa is about. This year, the rollout program starting at 6:30 p.m. starting out. And the first night, we're going to go to B. Nicole's Bistro. After that, we're going to Kim's Cafe. Oh, excuse me. Wait, I need to go and get it correct. Two chefs the next night. Then we got Cool Vibes. Then we're going to Odyssey. Then we're going to Creole Kitchen. Then we go to Kim Cafe on that Sunday, because that Sunday, it's going to be December 31st. So we're going to do it a little earlier than 6:30. So that's what's going to happen. Then on January 1st, Sac Passe, not Boule. That's Haitian Independence Day, but also it's Imani. And then we're going to be an unforgettable deli and bakery. So at least one of the speakers that we got is going to be, some of y'all know, Ahmed Kush Pope Fisher, who went to Savannah High School. But we don't hold that against the brother. We don't hold that against him. A great artist, positive artist, hip hop artist. We got him. And then somebody who went to Jenkins High School, but then he graduated from Johnson High School. That's my cousin, who's a chemist. Like, he got a story. So that we're going to have him. We got some other people that be rolling out with regards to this. And so excited. But we got some daytime places we want y'all to go. Now, y'all probably saying, wait a minute, 520. Where's 520? 520 Tavern. 520 Tavern. Y'all know they expanded. They're going to Waters Avenue. They're going to Waters Avenue. They're going to be right there, Waters Avenue. Got the tavern right there. And also a drive-through takeout happening right there. Gary Gordon going to be doing it right there. So we're going to tell people, support 520 at the establishment on Bull and Victory Drive. And then also we got Miss Polly's Cake Giants, who's always been right there. Then we're going to be going Vincent on Lathrop, Vincent on East Lathrop, Vincent. We say support Vincent during the day. And also Nicole Desserts right there. And we got a new restaurant that has opened up, not fairly new with regard to us and the family within this year. That is right there on Montgomery and 36, right there, 35th and 36th on Montgomery Street, right diagonal from David's, seafood. So we say support them during the day, but at night, again, we're going to Kim's Beach, B. Nicole's Bistro. Then we go on to Two Chefs. Then going to Cool Vibes, Odyssey, Kim's Creole Kitchen, Kim's Cafe, and then ending it up at Unforgettable with, again, a full day right there. And so that's the lineup. And the time, again, 6:30.
Yes.
We're not getting started at 7, 6:30.
Yes, and we will have all of this already and prepared to roll out, and we'll have it advertised on our Black Media Network, as well as my social media pages and Dr. Toure's pages, and we'll be sharing it with friends. And we also have the Hungry Vegan, where we will go out there and have breakfast one day too. So Kwanzaa is always a week where I am challenged weight-wise, because there is also so much good food. And the goal, of course, is to patronize these businesses. If you come out every night, we ask that you come out and bring your family a couple of nights and introduce the children to this culture. We encourage people to start adopting the principles of Kwanzaa and introduce them to your children and family members in your home. We have a Kanara, that's a candle holder, if you will, and each night is represented by a candle with a name or a principle. The first night, Umoja, then we have Kuja Chakalia, Kuumba. It's a great educational process, and each one of those principles, from self-determination to creativity, there's a meaning and a spirit that each one of those principles evoke to help us start our year. So I'm excited. And it's also an opportunity for us to come and express ourselves culturally. People come just as they are, but some people wear African attire. Some people dress in, Dr. Toure came in a tuxedo one year. I don't know what that was all about, but he sometimes something other than a human speaks to him, and so we just have to let him have that. But we are excited to feature a touch of Africa on Sunset Boulevard, where Miss Odessa, she's been the owner of that store for over 40 years. So certainly go by and patronize her, and you will be able to find some of the nicest African attire. Only second to, or I should say, they're not first and second. They're neck and neck. I have a friend who owns a new African attire store in Oglethorpe Mall. And it's, what is the store that's next to? I'm drawing a blank.
It's in the same wing as Macy's, between
Yes.
Macy's and JCPenney's, and there's still Mungas. And so something that you just to share this with you, there are vending opportunities also, because they were some of the vendors from the very beginning with regards to the Kwanzaa Krawl. And so but they're right in the wing, right between J.C. Penney's and Macy's, right there.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that. You're so right. So my good friend who owns the store, she and her husband Rose, Coach Rose, I call her. They were actually vendors at the very first Kwanzaa through the last one, before she had a brick and mortar, and then from vending, she segued into a kiosk at Overthorpe Mall, and now she has a full store there, and it's very nice. So go by, see Rose, tell her Kwanzaa sent her. Go by, see Miss Odessa, tell her Kwanzaa sent you, as well. And so we're gonna just make it a festive time in our city. We're gonna create and be a part of the change that we want to see in our city. So look for more information to come. Anything else you or Dr. Grimm want to share, Dr. Toure?
I do want to share something. So, yes, Miss Odessa, for those who may not know, she's still a seamstress and she makes beautiful things. I'm probably going to try to get to her here in the next few days or so, because it's just exquisite stuff and one of a kind. And Rose's jewelry, I can't say enough about it. It's a good time to be a Black person in the city. But even more specifically, a couple of years back, I was trying to get him to come on New Year's Day, but he decided to come on day 5 or day 6. He's a Kuumba baby. My youngest is a Kuumba baby. And
Okay.
he's a child of creativity. So if you have any family members that celebrate during this time, what better way to celebrate them and help them understand more about their heritage of just being born during this time period.
Yeah.
I can't stress it enough. Listen, my post said we ready because we are. My husband and I, we have already been between 2 different places, and we's like, okay, we got to go to local spaces as well, because we're gonna do it. And Dr. Toure was hating on us during our baby shower, asking us where we got our clothes from the baby shower, and I was like, yeah, we do this 365. But I appreciate both of you all for continuing this legacy, so that our next generation will really understand who they are. And I believe that as you have seen some videos of your wonderful daughter, they don't know they don't know what they're in store for. This next generation got something for them.
Oh, yes.
As Alderwoman Lanier said, they would have rather to deal with y'all, and it's getting bad with me, but they sure not gonna know what to do with the ones that came behind them. These COVID generation babies.
Yes, it's a different breed for sure. It's a breed for sure.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
They be hating on HBJ so bad. They be hating on HBJ.
He's talking to himself. You know that, right?
Oh, I thought I had mute. I thought I was mute. Oh my God.
What were you saying, Doc, to yourself?
Right.
I wasn't saying nothing.
Okay.
The producer made me say that. I wasn't saying nothing.
I'll have to go back and watch and see. Well, listen, Kwanzaa, as many of the cultural holidays in Savannah, is open to the entire city of Savannah. Kwanzaa Krawl is a city-sponsored event. And so we are excited about this celebration this year. It's a continuation from 2020. So we're just excited to keep it going. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of the familiar faces who have followed us from 2020. And we're looking to see new faces as well. So let's pack these restaurants and show them some love, and get your palettes and your pockets ready. Dr. Grimm?
Are we going to do the line dance again this year?
Yes, so we did reach out to the Savannah Showstoppers, Mr. Lamont. So I'm hopeful that they will be with us. I do know that we have a commitment from our DJ from last year with Ethiopia Sounds, And so we're excited. We're excited that I have been receiving before I started the planning in October. I was trying to get through the election, and people were still already asking me about Kwanzaa Krawl. So we're on it now. We're on it now. The train has left the station and it's not stopping. So, and first stop is B Nicole Bistro. So we're excited to show them some love because we know that they've had a tough time from the start. It's one of the restaurants that was denied a permit for alcohol, but we're going to just go and show some love, and we are happy to be adding a new element. I think we're going to start off with our first Kwanzaa oyster roast. So we're excited.
Too bad I can't have any.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And there's going to be an announcement on January 1st by Alderman Kesha Gibson Carter. On January 1st, she's going to be making a major announcement, so y'all need to be there at the Kwanzaa Krawl that day. She's going to make a major announcement on that day. God told me to let all y'all know that. Not that she said that, but I'm letting y'all know that, but God said so. We can't wait. Woo! Woo! That's all I'm talking about. God, woo! Woo! On January 1st, it's going to happen. Y'all know I'm an angel.
I love how everybody is putting their favorite spaces in the chat for Kwanzaa Krawl. So I look forward to seeing all of your faces out there. And with that same energy, don't let the cold keep you home because you'll miss out on a treat.
That's right.
And Gina Taylor just stabbed me in my back. My sister, Gina Taylor, done stabbed me in my back. I'm dead.
And listen, although it's cold, Dr. Grimm, the warmth and the spirit of the people in the room, it's amazing. It's amazing. So everybody will be just fine. And one other thing I was going to say about one of the restaurants, Kim's Cafe will be new to the lineup as well. And we do have a little bit of a time change because it's on a Sunday. So we may be able to host it earlier in the day, but that's certainly part of the information that will roll out with regard to the dates and time. But also something very, very special at Kim's Cafe. It's one of my new favorites because they serve a dish that is absolutely amazing. It's the best I've ever had. It's called Kesha Kunk, and it's a soup. And it's so delicious. It's so delicious. So when you go to Kim's Cafe, be sure to order a cup or a bowl of Kesha Kunk soup. It is absolutely delicious. That was a part of my announcement on January 1st, but we good night, Savannah. I love y'all. Dr. Toure's having problems with that, but he'll be all right.
like that.